Hi, everyone. Welcome to the download. My name is Mike Torezzo. With me, as always, is my buddy Joel Lowe. Joel, say hi.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Toodaloo.
So,
Hello.
Joel, both of us just did a cruise in the last couple months.
We did.
And you had a great idea. You said, let's talk about the technology and security in place and everything else. But you had a good story, and I kind of want you to talk about it with about your daughter and you driving around. Do you mind
Uh,
sharing that story?
Not at all. So, me and my daughter, it's actually happened yesterday. We were driving and we went by one of my old companies I work for, and she asked, "What did they do?" And I was like, "Hey, they deal with cars, baby." And she was like, and this is her 9-year-old brain working. She's like, "Are you a mechanic, Dad, now?" And I was like, "No, no, baby. I still do cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is in everything we do in this day." So she was like, so she started naming places. Well, what about the library? Well, baby, they have computers there and they have the internet. So yes, we're there. Oh, what about the gas station? I was like, well, PCI, baby. I use my card to get gas. Well, PCI, that's part of cybersecurity. So it was just funny to see that she didn't understand that, hey, security is in everything. Even when you think security is not in everything, it is, right? Because we use
Yeah.
so much technology, right? Hence
Yeah.
why we're now talking about cruise ships, right?
Right.
And all the technologies that's in cruise ships, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So
you can't get
let's
away with
start
it.
off with getting there, right? So you and
Oh
I were
yeah,
talking about the applications for the mobile apps for flight and using the web
right,
to do everything, can sign in and everything.
right.
Um, you have to have a mobile app sometimes to do this. Or you're booking online. Almost nobody calls a travel agent, which you should, because the travel agent can do a lot more than just book travel.
That's
They can
correct.
help save you money and find deals and stuff. But sometimes you're just like, look, I just need to get to point A to point B.
Right.
Um, but yeah, we have apps for flights and rental cars and even so I went on a Disney cruise and they have an app, and I think you said you went on a Princess cruise and they have an app as well.
Yes, they do,
So
and
yeah,
it
and
does everything.
it does everything.
It does
Um,
everything.
it's pretty crazy. So like we were talking about muster, and for those of you who've never done cruising, muster drills are basically where you make sure you understand how to get to a safety point for when they have to evacuate the ship, or just safety drills just to make sure you know where you're going, you're comfortable where you're going. Well, it
Right.
used to be at 4 o'clock, everybody puts on a life vest and meets out on the side of the ship that they're assigned to, and it's just you and 5,000 people sitting on the
Hmm.
side of the ship in your
Right.
life vest, and then they blow a horn and everybody goes back to the room and starts drinking again. And
Yep.
you have to do it. You had to do it at this point, or
It's a
they
must.
it would be a problem. Nowadays, what was your experience, Joel?
Oh, what's so crazy is with the app, we could literally watch the video. So I have my drink, I'm on the Lido deck, I'm watching the app, and then I just clicked like I've watched it,
Right.
acknowledge that I watched it, and we was good to go.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
was
ours
that was
was
it.
you take the app and you take a picture of a QR code at the station, the muster station. You check a box for you and all the rest of your party members, and you're done. So
Yeah.
and you do it at your own convenience. Like we were the
Right.
second boarding party at 11 o'clock in the morning, and literally we're not there with 5,000 other people. There was nobody there when we did it.
Right.
And we were done, and we could go to lunch and wait for the ship to take
I
off.
mean, even the check-in process, long as
Mhm.
you have, is so much technology,
Yeah,
right? It's completely technology. Like we did everything before. So
yeah,
um on my app, if you did everything and did all your documents, it had you in the green station. If you
yeah,
still had things that you needed completed, you were in the blue station,
right,
right? And green was so easy. All we did was go through, they double checked that the picture I uploaded looked like me. And they were like,
right,
"You're good to go, Mr. Lowe." And we kept moving. And it was so smooth, right?
yeah.
But again, it's all this technology that you had to do and all this information you filled out beforehand to then be able to just transition to get on the boat, right?
Actually, you know what? You bring up a good point. Even before we left for the cruise, we had to provide COVID tests.
Hmm.
And the COVID test we did was a proctored test. So we signed up for a special test. You literally did the QR code on your cell phone, and you set your cell phone up so that they could see you and the test, and you did the test, and you placed the test on camera for 15 minutes. They came back 15 minutes later, and you scanned the QR code again, and they showed them the test, and it was negative. And they said, okay, we'll take you as negative. And then when we got to the site, because it was within 48 hours or 72 hours or something, they were like, yeah, you're good. And you're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Get right on the ship. And it was like, all right.
Technology. I mean, even to go back one. So we were talking about flights, right? So I use my app for everything, but I also print out my stuff as well. And also I save my ticket to my wallet. And let me tell you this story about that. I had pulled up my ticket on my app. I didn't save it to my wallet, but I was running late, right? So if you are 30 minutes before you board, it works. But 29 minutes, it stops. And you have to go to an agent. So I literally was getting through the line, and it was 29 minutes, and the app wouldn't pull up anymore.
Oh, no.
And I was like, yo, so I missed my flight because I had to get out of line, right? Go back, and they reprint it. But then I've had that same thing happen, and I saved it to my wallet, and it pulls up. It was fine. Yeah. So again, life lessons of, if you didn't hear anything else from me, save it to your wallet. Right.
He's talking about the Apple wallet or the Android wallet, the Samsung wallet. It's just
save it so it just pops up real quick, and it'll make your life 10 times easier. But also print it out, right?
Yeah, if you have the ability to recycle after you print it out, but print it out. Right. I've had my cell phone die right as I was getting online, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I've got a paper copy, because I'm just retentive like that, and I scan and you go on, and then why is my cell phone not working?
Right. Or the app stops working. I've seen that. Right. Yeah. It's doing updates, something fails. Technology does sometimes not work. I know that's hard for people to believe, right? Sometimes bad things happen with good technology, right? And when that happens, you need paper, right?
You need a backup. You need a backup.
Print the internet.
And you're no, please don't print the internet. My dad already has that covered.
Just print it.
Let's talk about interactive smart panels, because this was cool. I didn't get a chance to experience this, but you did on your Princess cruise with your family.
So when we would go past certain panels, it would recognize that you were there from the RFI that you have. So there was a token that you have. Every cruise ship has something. So like Carnival has a card. Princess has a token that you can put on your wrist or you can wear around your neck, and it would know you. It knew you were there, and it would say, hey, Joel, here are all the great things going on, right? And it would show you all the things, or here's how you get to the Lido deck, right? Because I was always eating, so it always knew, like, hey, here's the place to get to.
We know you know your way to the Lido deck.
Here's to the buffet, right? What? And then here's all the things that's on it. Ooh, I do want that, right? Or with my daughter, it had games. So while we're waiting on the elevator, it would pop up her avatar that she made, and it had games. And she'd just be there playing this game. And then when we would go to another section of the ship, it would pop up the game again and be like, you want to continue playing? And she's like, oh, yeah. So it's interesting, right? It was like, whoa, they know everywhere you are, right? They also get you with those cards and medallions because you're buying drinks and hey, just put it on this. Hey, you buying snacks, you're doing this. And then at the end, right, I get a ping on my app and it's like, here's your total, right? And you're like, what did we buy? How many drinks did we buy? How many bingo games did I play? What are we doing? Right?
It's expensive. It's not. It's just you got to go in knowing. Watch what you're doing, because like the cruise I went on didn't take cash. Everything was on that card.
Everything.
So you could put cash on your card or whatever, your room and everything else, and handle it that way. But at the point of transaction, they were only using the card, and so you're like, this is gonna hurt.
You know what my cousin does? He's a huge Disney person, right? Huge Disney person. He will, like, for his son's birthday, he'll say, just give him Disney gift cards. right? And then he will buy a Disney gift card every time he gets paid, right? So he's a year out. So by the time he goes to Disney, he has like all these gift cards. Everything's paid with the gift card, even with the cruise. Like he'll just transfer it over into the account so that it's with the gift card. So it hurts less, I guess. So like he just bought $50 here every time he got paid, you know, $100 here. But he would have like a stack of them. And I was just like, that is so smart.
It is. It's like a savings account.
To do that.
It's like having a savings account. Yeah.
So like we have another one coming up, and I plan on getting gift cards, right? Yeah. Just because I'm like, I need to get ahead of this, right? Yeah. It hurts less when you're like, oh, it's just this card, right? Versus being like but yeah, technology is everywhere, people, and it's just funny how as you ebb and flow on the ship, you see it everywhere. Even when we checked in with kids camp, so it's an area where you take your little people and they watch them for you. Before we got to the door, my profile had popped up with my daughter's profile and all her information and my information. So the lady immediately said my name and my daughter's name. Was like, hey, how are you doing? And I know you like this and this. So, hey, we're going to have fun. And just went through the whole thing. And I literally on my app, I checked and consented to all the things that I had said. And she went over it. And then I pushed OK. And that was it. And again, that app, right? Just like that app. But they could talk to me through the app. So if something happened and they needed to get to me, they can communicate with me through the app. I can communicate with them through the app. Again, that technology. It was I could do my dinner reservations. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking some of the cruise ships have wristbands for the children that are different than the tokens and everything else. And they can't take it off. And if they take it off, it sends a signal like, this was removed. And this is the last, and it's a location beacon. So if your child is lost, they can find them anywhere in the ship. But
they have that thing locked down pretty good.
Right? Yeah, I mean, you're out in the middle of the ocean, unless they go overboard. Knock on wood, that never happens to anybody. But, you know, boy, that just got dark.
It did. It just went left.
Sorry about that, people at home.
Cruises are the best thing, but if they go overboard, though, that could be bad, right?
It could be bad. Watch your children.
But the thing is, even at some of the ports we went to, we could use our band, right? Like some of the vendors there were like, yes. Some of the vendors that were on the close to the shore would take it. It was I was just like, look at this here. So you want souvenirs? Just here. Just hey. Of course you're paying a premium, but you just boo. So with my daughter, I had to cut hers off. Right. I was like, hey, she can't spend more than $10 a day because she would go crazy. Right? Just
because it's not real money to her. Yeah.
Right. What do you mean, Dad? It kept going. Like, So again, put limits around your technology, right?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Even for yourself, right? If you're like, hey, I've budgeted that we can spend $50 a day as a whole, then put a limit on there. Hey, once we get to this certain thing, you need to give me an alert to ask if I want to increase more, right? Because if not, you'll spend $100. If you're doing a 7-day cruise, that's $700.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you could do that easily. You can do that in drinks. Just in alcoholic drinks. Every drink
was
$15, $20.
Right.
There were some drinks that were like Disney has a $5,000 drink at Hyperspace Lounge. And it was like, I didn't buy it. That's Joel Low money. You need Joel Low money.
I guess what? If I bought that drink, I'd still be on the cruise ship.
Right.
I would be a cast member. And anybody that's done anything with Disney would know what that means. They would be like, he now works here.
He is now employed here. Yeah.
for free. He has to work 2 years to pay off this one drink.
Well, and so, with all this technology, with great power comes great responsibility and failure. We both experienced, technology failure. You had the bingo issue.
Yes. So anybody that knows, I love bingo. Bingo loves me, kind of. I haven't won on the ship ever. I've done several cruises, but one day it's going to come. Right?
One day. I know.
You can't win if you don't play, right? That's what I keep telling myself.
Yep.
But for like anybody that goes on a cruise, So every day they do bingo for the most part, or especially when you're at sea. And if you don't win the grand prize, right, it gets rolled over into the last day. And the last day, no matter what, somebody's going to win it. So you have like half the ship, it feels like, playing bingo on this last one because everybody wants this grand prize. And the system went down. So in the middle, it was like B13, and it just stopped. And you're like, oh. And you can buy tablets that will have like 40 cards on it, and it does it automatically. It's connected with the system. So all you do is sit there with your drink and you talk and get to have fun, and it does. Or you can do the daubers, the old school way. But again, you have like 3, 4, 6, 7 boards. And you don't want to miss something, right? And you could easily miss something. But with the electronic one, you miss nothing. It does everything. Right. It even tells the system when you run away. It also will confirm it for you. So you can say bingo, and then it'll say, "Oh, I see you have computer 1372. It's a confirmed bingo, right?" And you're like, "Yeah, give my money." But if the system stops working, what do we do? Right. And that's literally what happened. So I think half of the room had tablets, and it stopped working. So it's not like we can say, "Hey, we're going to keep going." No. So they literally had to troubleshoot for like half the day and get everybody to come back. But you know anything about gambling? Nobody wants to stop, right?
Right. Ever. There goes. And I could have win.
I was almost there. What do you like? The complaints and it was so.
I can't imagine.
I felt bad for whoever had to take all that in, right? Because we literally had to start over. They had to reset the whole thing. So it wasn't like get to hold the board because of the issue. So imagine being like 3 away, right? 3 away, and all of a sudden now you got to start over. Not to say those 3 were going to win, but in your mind, you're like, I was about to win.
Could have been the next 3. Could have been the next 3 numbers called. You don't know.
The line, like the person who had to take all of that heat, I felt so bad for. I was like, ooh. Me, I was like, I was nowhere near. Right? I was like, hey, let's start over. I'm like 10 away. Let's start over, right?
I'll take it.
But there was the people that were way closer that I was like, ooh, I feel bad for you, right? So when technology does not work, right, that's hence why we need to have backups, right? Have something readily available that shows that you are who you say you are. You've done what you say you did, right?
Yeah.
I did pay for this. Here's my receipt. Please give me what you owe, right? But if you don't have that, I mean, how many times have you tried to pull up an app and it moves slow because it doesn't have the Wi-Fi signal? I see that all the time, where it's thinking about it. You're like, I have it here. It's moving slow, right?
Just give me a minute.
Right. Just give me a second, right? And depending on where you are, they don't have minutes to give you, right? You need to step to the side, sir. Well, that's the worst feeling.
I had to reset my app constantly on the ship, and it's a brand new cruise ship, and we had the the deluxe wireless package, so we could see their video cameras and stuff at home. But it's still like my wife's app worked fine on her phone. She's a different model than I do, but mine, I had to constantly close it out and reopen it, close it out and reopen it. It just happens that she would just, oh nope, I got it right here, and that's okay for the cruise ship and everything else. But like when we're at the Disney parks, when we have what they call advanced dining reservations, she has those numbers printed out. Like she has a printout, and because it's technology, things just happen. And we don't see it on here. And we're like, well, I've got a number, and they could look up the number and they go, oh, well, yeah, something happened. So we'll go ahead and honor your number. Thank you for having it, and you're like, and it disappears off of the app. But you still have a printout with a number, and you can show them like, nope, I have this. And they're like, okay. And that's that, I keep every email that comes during that visit as well. And I keep it in a folder that I can get to quickly and stuff like that. It's not buried deep, but
I take screenshots as well. So it goes to because your pictures can come up all the time. I'll take a screenshot. Right? I have backups of backups of backups. I'll print it out. I'll put it in a folder. I will have the app, and I have a screenshot picture. Like one of those 4 have to work. Right. If they don't
that's
work,
like your
then
passport.
I was destined. Right.
Yeah.
I was destined.
You have photos of your passport, your vaccine card. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it back. Right. That's always my goal. We go out the country. I'm coming back home. right? They're
I'm
not gonna
coming
be like, well,
back
sir,
home.
we don't see your passport. Here's a picture of it. All right.
Here's two.
Hey, what about your vaccine? Here's another one. Right.
Right.
Oh, I have a printout as well. Right. I'm coming home. Right.
I'm
Let
coming
me in.
home. Yeah.
Right. Hey.
Yeah.
So takeaways.
Yeah. So
And we kind of just went through a lot of them too.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're
I
just gonna go
like
back
yours.
on
Technology is your friend until it's not.
technology. I'm gonna put it on a shirt. Technology
Yeah.
friend until it's not. Right.
Yeah.
Where's the cybersecurity people? Right.
Yeah.
So
Business
again,
continuity.
plan for the worst, right? Expect the best, but plan for the worst. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about printing out stuff and, saving it here and, making sure you understand, where you have different things at. Like I have a folder that I travel with the printouts in it.
Right.
Right. So again, when I'm somewhere and it's not working, where I just pull that folder out and I just can immediately go to it. Right. Because time is money. You want to move quickly. You don't want them to ever tell you, could you please step to the side until you get that. That's the worst feeling ever. Also to make sure you understand your technology, right? We talked about limits, right? Putting limits on things. Also understanding what actually they're using your information for. You have that right, right? You can say, hey, there's a lot of information you're taking. What are you doing with that?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, what are you gonna do after we leave? Right? You can ask those questions, right? And you notice this because you get emails afterwards from the marketing department. It's like, hey, we know you love that buffet. We got a new buffet item coming out, right? I'm like, how dare you? I did love that buffet. You're right.
I'll take it.
But how dare you, right? So again, they're using all this data to mine you, right? To tell you what's going on. Hey, we noticed you bought, 2 new plush toys, right, for your daughter. There's a new one coming out, a third one.
Right.
Complete the set. She would like to complete the set. How did you know? I'll take it. Right. Yeah. So again, understanding what they're doing with your information, right? Understanding there's limits and things you can put on it for that technology.
Well, and then it's like with any kind of traveling, don't panic, right? At the end of the day, there's a solution for it. May not be the most ideal solution, but if you have backups, if you have copies, if you have physical copies and stuff like that, there's a solution for this, and they can figure it out. Just being prepared, being calm, and approaching these people like they're normal human beings. We've all seen the videos of people at the airport freaking out on a flight attendant or a desk clerk or something like that. They're like, those people are human beings. Like they're not mean. They're not being nasty. They're not being jerks. If you're just the slightest bit nice to them, like, hey, I know this is hard. I know this is difficult. And I know I'm one of many that's going to come to you. And I appreciate everything that you're doing. Here's my problem. Is this something you can help me with? Just a little bit of nicety. It will get you so much further and help you out. And at the end of the day, they're human beings. Like, don't do it just because you want to get something out of it, but do it because they're human beings, and you want to be a decent human being yourself.
Right. Sometimes it's something simple as I will say, other than this situation here, how are you doing today?
Right.
Yeah. And just let's pull away from this. Like, I genuinely know, how are you doing today? Oh, it's been a rough day. I can only imagine. Right. I take my hat off to you, because if I had to deal with 50 people, right, in line who all are trying to get on this plane and are upset, I don't know what I would do. So, hey, I appreciate you. And I know that you got a lot going on. Whatever you can do, I appreciate it. But hey, I just want to make sure you're good. Right. Yeah. And that's genuine. Even if he turned around and was like, nope, there's nothing I can do. Well, I appreciate that. But usually what happens is it's like, hey, I can't do anything right now, but we may have something come open. Just step to the side. Yep. And it's never failed. If they can do something, they'll help you out.
They will.
Getting mad helps nobody. I've never seen them move somebody or make something happen for the person who has the attitude. Right. In the video, when the people are fussing at the agent, you never see them next be like, and they let them on.
Right.
It's
usually it's the security TSA people come like, sir, we need to talk to you over here, and you're like,
could you get over here?
That's not going to end well.
Right. I saw where a guy had I think another thing, he was arguing with one of the people, the stewards people, and the manager came and was like, "Hey, you're not gonna fly." And then he was like, we're refunding your ticket. And it was like,
yeah,
like,
you're done.
Like you're not even flying with us anymore, right? And I was like, yeah, that didn't work for you, right? So hey, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, people.
Yeah, absolutely,
Mary Poppins.
absolutely. All right, well, hey everyone, thank you so much. If you like the content, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We're back from vacation. We're going to start going as this is episode number 25, if you can believe it. 25. So we're going to excited. We're starting a new season probably after this. So this is season 1. We'll go to season 2 probably. Because
when we get renewed. When we get renewed.
But
please renew us.
If you like the content, please hit the like button. If you want, please subscribe. We put out new content every weekish, every other week. And we hope to expand and get bigger and better. And we can only get bigger and better if we hear back from you all. So if you want, leave a comment. We'll get back to you and just tell us what your thoughts are. If there's something you want us to discuss or interested in knowing, just let us know.
Y'all take care.
All right, Joel, any closing thoughts? Half the knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone.